Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and I'm coming to you with a VR to the lovely Nina from Shuffle Tarot. Um, she did a wonderful video recently with a self-love spread using the Manifesting Your Greatness deck, which I'm also a fan of. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a fun idea. So I'm just going to do VR. Because I thought I'd love to try the spread. And I think we can all use a little bit more self-love. I mean, it's something that we tend to be very short on. And I think it's something we tend to misunderstand. You know, we tend to see like self-love as something that's selfish or self-absorbed. But the truth is that when you have, my truth, the truth I've found has been that when I have more self-love, I'm much, much more inclined and more able to be kind and loving to other people. So I guess we could equate it with like filling up your own well, you know, so that you've got plenty left to get through whatever you have to get through with some compassion intact, but also that you have plenty left to share. So, yeah. And I also noticed like a lot of Nina's videos are getting more and more authentic, which I really find touching. It makes me want to be more authentic too. So yeah, it's a little scary. I think it's scary to do a spread live, like without doing it first. And I'm aware that I usually do it first and then post it. Or then, what am I saying? I'll record it first and then, I'm having like such a distracted moment. I usually will do the reading first, get the cards, and then hit click on the video to record. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's all. So something I wanted to share before going in. This is my favorite book. One of them anyway. And I've had a lot of copies of this book. Lovingkindness by Sharon Salzberg. She really does the best job of anybody I've ever come across at explaining it and explaining why it's necessary to have self-love and extend loving kindness to ourselves first before attempting to try and give it to others. And all I can really say is like my own experience is that when I try to think of other people first, right, which is something that we laud in others and really encourage in our society, I tend to I get compassion fatigue at best. At worst, it can manifest as resentment, or it can manifest as like, I gave this, so I should get XYZ in return, and that's not how it goes. And there's a Buddhist saying that I'm struggling at the moment to remember exactly which text it's from, but basically makes it very clear. Oh, I think it's the Diamond Sutra. It just pops back in, doesn't it? But basically that, you know, if you give a gift with being attached to it, or you give, and in this sutra, I mean, gift means that if you give something while you're attached to it, like needing to have it received a certain way, or, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a physical thing, but if you give of yourself in some way with the expectation that something will come back from it, it's regarded as the epitome of not being wise, of not wisdom. So yeah, that's something I spent probably a full year focused on in my Buddhist practice at one time. So that said, there is a little poem I wanted to read because it's my favorite one to share. And I sometimes find that like I enjoy writing this poem on some of the eco prints and things that I make and giving those as presents to people. but it's from chapter 2 in the book, and it's based on a poem by Galway Kinnell, or it's an excerpt from a poem by Galway Kinnell, where he says, "The bud stands for all things, even those things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within of self-blessing, though sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness, to put a hand on the brow of the flower, and retell it in words and in touch, it is lovely, until it flowers again from within of self-blessing." So, I just love that. And then Sharon Salzberg says, quote, "To reteach a thing its loveliness is the nature of metta," which is the Pali word for loving kindness. "Through loving kindness, everyone and everything can flower again from within. When we recover knowledge of our own loveliness and that of others, self-blessing happens naturally and beautifully," which I just think is so lovely. So, yeah, I've had multiple copies of this. I always have one of my, what's it called? Your iPad, in my Kindle app, because I'm kind of known for giving my copies of that book away when I can see, like, I used to have students in and out of my office having struggles and stuff, and I would give them a copy of it. So I've lost a lot of copies that way. So I'm hoping that by the time I film this, I can insert a picture of this spread. And I'm definitely going to link to Nina's video. But it's the Self-Love Tarot spread, and Nina did it with her Manifesting Your Greatness, oracle. And so I thought, what a fun thing to do. I'm going to do it with mine as well. So I'm just pulling it up here and having it available so I can see the spread while I'm doing this. So the first, it's 5 cards. And card number 1, it's like in a cross formation. Card number 1 is your relationship to self. So we need 1 card that gives a taste of what is my relationship to self. And it may not decide to jump. Oh, hello. Okay. Oops, I wanted 1 card. I'll take the one that was on the bottom. Oh, believe you are magic. So, I guess I need to believe that I'm magic. I think that's what that means. Yeah, believe you are magic. So that's my first card. Second card, admirable qualities. So what are my admirable qualities? 1 card for... Whoa! The whole deck went flying. That was not what I expected. Okay, what are... 1 card for what are my admirable qualities? Admirable. I love this deck. Oops, hello. Okay, just needed 1. Okay, I'll take this one. Oh. So one of my admirable qualities is that I buck convention. So, yay! Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I don't have a lot of time for it. It hasn't been very kind to me, honestly. Okay, so 3, I don't even know if I'm getting these in the right formation. Yep, I did. Okay, so 3 is what is disowned self. So I need 1 card for disowned self. trying to get even looser to let something jump. Maybe this card does not want to jump. Maybe the cards were like, fine, we jumped and then you castigated us. Although that's not really this deck's personality. Okay, I'm going to cut the deck and choose a card. Okay. Oh, forgiveness. So disowned self. Wow. Yeah, forgive. So yeah, there's probably a lot of things I need to forgive in myself that, yeah. Wow, that hits home right away, so yeah. Big part of it, letting go of things like that and forgiving them in yourself first. It makes it so much easier to forgive other people sometimes. Okay, so what do I need to release? So we want one card for release. I think I'm just going to, again, cut the deck. Sometimes when cards don't want to jump, that is a really simple way that I like. It's just, yep. You feel kind of like a Jenga puzzle where you feel like, ooh, there's a little spot where it wants to give way. Oh, wow. I'm not sure what this one means in relationship to that position, but go out on a limb. I feel like I'm already out on a limb. Do I need to release going out on a limb? Or do I need to let go and go out on a limb? Because I kind of feel like I'm out on a limb already. We might ask further clarity on that one. And, ooh, 5 is more love. Kind of wish I knew. Ooh, hello. Okay, so think bigger, think bigger, think bigger, think bigger. This one just kind of flipped for me here. So the more love is think bigger. I don't know how I think any bigger. I clearly need to spend time thinking about that. Maybe I need to think of myself as bigger than the limited ideas that I have. I think that's probably fair. It's so easy to limit yourself, isn't it? Like, yeah. So Nina thinks that this spread is from Daily Tarot Girl. I will see if I can find it online. Either way, I'll be linking to it. Again, so the first one is relationship to self. So I got believe you are magic. Admirable qualities is number 2. So an admirable quality is my ability to buck convention. 3, what do I need to know about the disowned self? Forgiveness. 4, release. So I got go out on a limb. I think it probably means I need to let go and go out on a limb, because I think sometimes I try to draw myself back in and see if I can fit into the square box, but I'm really not as square as I look or seem. I think it all depends on who you are. I think there are plenty of people who see me as not at all square. In the Midwest, I'm like way out. In other places, I'm pretty square. So I guess it just depends. And then more love. Think bigger. Think bigger. So yeah, there we go. Okay, everyone. This is me wishing you abundant self-compassion and self-love. All right, talk to you soon.